Patience is a virtue. What is going on, everybody? Lindy Endzone is back with another video. So, quick update. I invested in a video editing software, so I'm hoping that I can get used to running the program and getting some more detailed videos out there. I had to bite the bullet and just get a unlimited subscription to a software to allow me to just put better videos out there. As you can see, got a little bit basic with the intro, kind of, but I still love how it turned out. So let's get into it. I wanted to kind of make a little reaction to the one-on-one that Nick Sirianni had today, new head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, with one of the Philly media writers, and John Clark. And I said in the beginning, patience is a virtue, and you can see by watching it, the nervousness is still there. He's repeating himself in his responses at times, and just kind of in a carousel, saying the same thing over, over and over, kind of like how I am right now. I mean, a lot of us aren't very good speakers until we just get used to it over a long period of time. Practice makes perfect, I guess, without editing, because I usually, up until now, I haven't edited my videos, obviously, and a lot of you have figured it out. So, but yeah, so maybe I'll get better, or I'm gonna definitely try. I'm gonna definitely try to get better. But anyway, yeah. So there wasn't too many. There wasn't too many questions that really stood out to me from John necessarily, except for a couple. Obviously, he brought up the quarterback situation with Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz as to what Nick's approach is as to how he's going to work with both quarterbacks, depending on who's here and who's not, or both of them. And I liked his response to it. He talked about how it was a week before the season starting, or something along those lines. I think he talked about it was a week before the start of the regular season when Andrew Luck retired. And they had to push Jacoby Brissett into the fold. And one thing that he kept bringing up is that that you always start over. Like, it doesn't matter what the previous player did. It didn't matter like who they were as a player. You're working with a fresh guy now, so it's starting over. Like, it doesn't matter. And I don't know if that really kind of had like any inside reading to it, like going between the lines. I don't think there was anything there. I still don't think that they really know who the quarterback is going to be. But I really liked his answer to it and his approach. It seems very quarterback friendly in what he wants to do as far as the collaboration with his coaching staff, and just really hone in on who the player is at that current point in time. That's what I got from that. Another question and answer that stood out to me was the kind of football team. John Clark asked him what kind of football team that he is going to bring out on the field, Lincoln at the link. I really like it. He talked about that he wants to put a football team out there that is fundamentally sound. He wants to put a football team out there that's physically and mentally strong, and he wants to put a football team out there that the teammates love each other and they love the game. And he brought up that that's been the philosophy that he has stuck with, and and just his experience, moving up the ranks in the NFL, and he also related that to just his experience playing college football as a receiver. We see, the biggest thing to me is it doesn't matter how how good or how bad he does at first. I mean, I'm terrible right now, but yeah, no, you just can't look at this. You just can't look at the simple things with these interviews and everything. Which it still hits me in a certain way, because he seemed completely fine in his first one-on-one with Dave Spadaro, and I think the nervousness carried over from the press conference talking to John Clark. So I think, like I said in the beginning, patience is a virtue. I feel once he completely gets acclimated and really dives into this football team and starts getting used to the media, he's a first-time head coach. I think he's going to start to settle down, and it reminds me of, like, there's people that are better actors than they are speakers. And what I mean by that is we're looking at a guy who, with the amount of experience that he's built up, and there's some clips out there with him talking to his players when he was on the Indianapolis Colts as the offensive coordinator. So to me, I think we're going to see it translate better on the field than we do, in press conferences. I think he's, I think he's more better in action than he is in speaking, to where, he's a guy that's going to take charge. And he said it again in this interview. He wants his guys to be accountable. And he brought up the fact that tape doesn't lie. He's going to point out the good things, he's going to point out the bad things, and that's one big focus that he's got, as as far as that goes. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to react quick to the interview that he had today with John Clark. You can find it on the NBC Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel if you want to check it out for yourself. And that's going to do it for this episode. I will catch you guys soon. I got some Mavericks stuff I want to go over again. Unfortunately, we're we're doing as bad as the New York Knicks right now, and the Atlanta Hawks and teams like that. We're not in a good spot. And I gotta look up some trade scenarios and whatnot. But I'm just coming up with things off the top of my head. But that's gonna do it for this episode. This has been In the End Zone, and I'll check you guys out in the next one.